What's up, everyone? I'm Will Fulton, and welcome to the video component of Thrillist Best and the Rest, our weekly podcast, which you're about to see is an extended conversation with two of my colleagues about traveling with a partner and traveling in a big group. Now, if you want to listen to the full episode, you can check out the link in our description or search for Thrillist Best and the Rest wherever you get your podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, doesn't really matter. We'd love for you to listen to the full episode, but since you're here, you might as well stick around and watch us talk about travel. What's up, everyone? I'm Will Fulton. Welcome to Thrillist Best and the Rest. Today's episode is all about exploring how we travel and, more importantly, who we travel with. I have two of the most social people I know here to talk about traveling with other people. Senior producer, Gab. Not Gabby. Gabrielle Williott.
Hello.
And Cities editor, Alex. Don't call him Alexander Robinson. Well, we can call you Alexander, right?
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Okay, that's my bad. I'm sorry. What the hell is a Cities editor for the people at home?
Okay, a cities editor is an editor who has multiple cities under their purview. So I edit, at this moment, 8 different cities. I basically oversee the content that gets produced in those cities. Just written, not video, which is what oftentimes people think I do, is video edit. I don't think this position really exists anywhere.
Well, that's why I said you need to explain what you do.
I always have to explain it to everybody, yeah. And in my editing experience, I do a lot of traveling around to different cities and kind of check them out. Right.
So when people are in Atlanta and they Google what's the best brunch in Atlanta, and our article comes right at the top.
Like number one our SEO is through the fucking roof. It's insane.
Yeah, good job, team.
Yeah.
Ow.
SEO is search engine optimization for any of you nerds at home.
San Francisco is you?
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great city.
Yeah, read Thrill of San Francisco, yeah.
Miami?
Yes, Miami as well.
Okay, we could just go through your
Alex,
we
do
really
you
don't
go
have
to every city you cover?
I have been to most of the cities I cover, yeah.
Yeah, not the smaller ones.
Actually, I've been to more smaller ones than larger ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the smallest city you've gone to?
For Thrill, Louisville, I think.
Okay. Which fun stuff to do there.
Louisville's really fun, but it is small. It's like objectively a small city in terms of, population and things to do.
And Gabrielle, and you're a producer of video.
Yes, I do the video. Fuck written. I make videos and I edit them. And so
why should you make this a contest right now?
You don't have to be so
Alex. So
you're very talented.
Thank you, Alex.
Some of your favorite thrills.
Alex and I have worked together a lot on videos, though. Even though he's not responsible for them, he has been a part of a lot of videos, as have you.
It's true.
Yeah.
We've all worked together.
Yeah.
You guys both were technically my bosses at one point.
Yeah.
It's true.
Which is why
at very different points in your career.
That's very true.
And in our careers.
But probably still equally bad bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that.
Well, bad at being bosses, but great at traveling.
Edit that out.
You two are some of our funnier, more exciting colleagues, friendly. So I just wanted to get a perspective from two normal people about how you travel and how you travel with other people.
Normal is relative, but okay.
Normal is definitely relative in this case. I want to talk first about traveling with a group of friends. I think a lot of people say that traveling with a significant other is one of the hardest things you can do, in that space. I find that traveling with friends is even harder than that. We've traveled together in a big group.
Oh my God.
That was
Okay.
that was who we think invented the Reese's peanut butter cup. No
This ghost is here. He's trying to communicate with us.
If someone could figure out who this is.
We don't know who this man is.
It's just part of our set.
Is he?
Write it in the comments.
But pretty sure he's not problematic.
This is just for the video, because obviously
that's
in the audio you won't be able to see what just happened, and we'll cut it out.
That down there. Please keep that in.
Okay. I was saying that traveling with friends is oftentimes harder, I think, than traveling with a significant other. And the latter gets the rap for being super hard. We traveled together a few times, Alex and I.
Yeah.
We went to New Orleans with 8 or 9 people.
Yeah.
Then we went to Paris and Amsterdam with
three of us.
3 to 4. And how did you feel? Did you feel that I was a good person to be part of the group?
Yeah.
Loaded question. I don't know why I put myself out there.
Oh my God.
No, yeah.
Well, I've never really asked, and
Don't
now
fuck this up, Alex.
No.
No.
Fuck it up.
No, I mean, I think that you have to know who you're going with beforehand, and I think that I had a pretty good grasp of who you were and who Joe was I've known Joe for years and years.
Joe Magali, who also works at Thrillist.
Yeah. And we've known each other for years, and I figured we'd have a really good time together, and I think we did have a really good time together. You have the anecdote of getting pickpocketed at the Eiffel Tower because you wanted to go off by yourself and dance for some reason.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
It's tracks.
But for the most part, no one really pressured anyone to do anything,
right.
which is, I think, a big part of making group trips successful. So if you're out with a group of people, if there's one person who's like, we need to do this, this, and this, if there's and there's always going to be like that one itinerary person who, if the itinerary happens to deviate from what they expect or want, they're going to kind of have like a mini meltdown. And I don't think we had that at all. I think we just had things that we wanted to do and see. And if someone had a different plan, or if someone didn't want to go on that like particular excursion, it was kind of like, you guys go ahead, I'll text you later, and then we'll meet up for dinner, or we'll meet up for drinks at this bar and just hang out from there and kind of just play it by ear. And I've done bachelor party trips where I've rented an Airbnb with 8 guys in New Orleans, and that was like crazy. And that's just a lot to handle, and it's way different than going with just 3.
It's way different. Well, the other thing with bachelorette parties, you're usually in a big group, and also like it's almost easier in a way though, because with planning, one person really has say. You know, if the bachelor or bachelorette, like, you want to listen to what they say. Mm-hmm. So if they say you want to go, they want to go to a certain place, you kind of have to go there.
Oh, you're fucking going.
Right.
Like,
true. But
there's an itinerary.
Like, who's going to argue with the bachelor, bachelorette?
That's what I'm saying. But on the flip side, it becomes harder because if there's like 15 of you, you don't want to split up because you want to be with the person, you know, you're celebrating.
Right.
And if you're at a bachelor party, like we saw this in Amsterdam, and I just see it in Montreal or Nashville, it really sucks when a group of 15 dudes rolls up to a bar.
It's like
together, it just kills the entire
guys or girls.
Yeah, true.
It's like the worst feeling.
Too many people.
It's way too many people. It even sucks if you're with the group, because one, you know how shitty of a thing that you're doing. Like, you have to be a little bit self-aware here, right?
Some people aren't, though.
Going into this bar with 15 people, you have to be like, fuck. People are gonna hate us.
Yeah.
Then
I feel like you just have to really
like,
embrace
fuck.
it and be as obnoxious as you can be. Everyone has like a penis on their head or something like that.
Yeah.
And
No,
just
totally.
lean into it, because other than
100%.
that, you're just like a huge group of people, which is equally weird.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Be obnoxious as fuck.
Yeah.
Kick everyone out. Like, make everyone else go to a different bar. Tip your bartenders.
And there should always be a sober sister there.
I don't
Sober
know what
sister.
that is.
Yeah, what is that?
Sober sister. So there should be one person who's not like blackout drunk to make sure everyone's okay. No one's dead or kidnapped. No one's off like cheating on their spouse or something like that.
Sure.
Oh, so
I'm
narc.
usually the sober. No, you don't narc. You just shame them and guilt them into not cheating.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
like when you
usually
invite.
the sober sister.
You're usually the sober sister? That's surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just
Given your,
worry
history.
I don't know what that means.
my alcoholic tendencies. Cut that out. I'm not an alcoholic. In fact, I don't drink that much because I'm annoying enough sober. So
as we drink this wine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
I
fine.
enjoy a good glass of wine every once
doesn't?
in a while. Yeah. But I have been on many bachelorette parties with like 16 girls, and it is a nightmare. They're never fun. I'm sorry to all my friends. I love you dearly, but the bachelorette parties are a total nightmare. And also, it's this like weird meshing of 2 groups of friends. So like the bride will invite like 5 high school friends, 6 college friends, and then the random work friend who probably should have said no but felt bad and went anyway, and then is on the outskirts. I just feel like I don't know when we all decided that traveling bachelorette and bachelor parties were going to be a thing, but it was the worst decision for women particularly, but everyone.
Yeah, bachelor parties, I feel, because I know exactly what you're talking about with mixing and meshing of friend groups. I think guys handle it significantly easier than women do.
Absolutely.
It's almost just like we're just here to bro out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anything gets weird, it's like, I don't know, let's just do shots and shotgun 22 Coors Lights.
Yeah.
That's easy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Have you found that, like, have you been on bachelorette parties that like different cliques in the same party have gotten catty?
Oh, yes. You're editing this, right? I'm gonna. Can you?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
certainly not.
I'm gonna walk that back. I was at a certain bachelorette party where, like,
You don't have to use real names, of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
sure, where the college friends were just feuding with the high school friends.
That's so funny. That's awful.
Yes, it's fun to watch.
As a
but-
sober sister.
As a sober
Yeah.
sister,
Eating
to
popcorn.
watch it go down.
Yeah.
It's very juicy and fun, but it sucks for the bride because she feels loyal to both of these people, and like and then you have to spend the whole weekend with them, usually in an enclosed, like if you're in an Airbnb or a house, you're all in the same space. Someone's crying somewhere in a corner. Someone's drunk, naked, passed out. It's just a total mess, honestly. I've never been to a bachelorette party where I left and I was like, you know what? That was a great time and I don't regret it.
I was at a bachelor party where there was like two groups of friends, college friends and high school friends, and actually a fist fight happened between the two groups.
Nice.
It was a pretty good reason too. The group of high school friends got really upset over the way one of the college friends was just interacting with the strippers at this strip club, was just kind of being kind of a dick and was calling them out. And then there was
he
like a
doing? I
full-blown
need
fist
to
fight.
know.
It wasn't anything crazy. It was just like, I don't know, being like overly touchy. Strip clubs are weird, and you don't. There's a fine line between, you know, what is fun and what's normal in a strip club to like what is not. And I think it depends on who.
Yeah, like don't stick your fingers in a stripper's butthole.
Exactly.
Or something.
And it was honestly something like that.
Oh, no.
But the guy that ended up getting in a fight, this is honestly true, ended up sleeping in the woods behind the strip club in McKees.
This makes sense. This totally makes sense.
I feel like we really veered off. So traveling in groups is really hard.
It is hard.
Well, we've been to a bachelor party together.
Yeah.
And it was we were the work friends.
Oh, with Jeremy.
Yeah, there was a very
That's true.
There was a very eclectic mixture of people.
Yeah,
there.
but it was not. It was in Atlantic City, and it was not. It wasn't really that. Nobody passed out in the woods behind a strip club. There were no strip clubs, but there was definitely like a dynamic between one group of friends wanted to maybe go to a strip club and go out to the casinos, and then the other half kind of just wanted to have a nice Italian dinner. But it was hard because like you knew that The Bachelor was torn between both sides, and you didn't know what to do. And honestly, I feel like it caused more stress than like fun looking back.
Yeah.
Are you guys team strip club on a bachelor party?
That's like the only. I'm not just saying this because we're being recorded. I don't really like to go to strip clubs. I feel weird there. It's not something I like to do. At a bachelor party, it's kind of fun. It depends on the strip club. Like Jumbo's Clown Room in LA is a strip club. The girls don't get nude. They're like really almost professional dancers.
Okay.
And it has like a theme. It's almost more like a burlesque show.
Okay.
And when you go there, it's like fun. The girls have fun. Everyone is not seedy. So a bachelor
And you're never
party,
like worried someone's being sold into sex slavery or
Yeah.
like, being abused.
and you never feel uncomfortable. Like you're never. It's just weird. Like these girls are pretending to like you to get money. It's the same reason I don't go to Hooters, even though I love their wings.
Right. Yeah, I think it's,
But
it
we
can be a waste
do
of money.
support sex work here, right?
At Thrillist
Yeah,
or in this
absolutely.
room?
In this room and
Don't
maybe-
speak for the
I
company.
can't speak for Thrillist, but in this room we
Yeah,
support
sex workers' rights.
work. Yes.
For
yes.
sure.
write
What's
it
up?
Just had
Yeah.
to put that out there that we can comment on strip club culture while still supporting sex work. Okay, carry on.
Sure. I went to
Sure.
like one of the strip clubs I actually like to go to for bachelor parties is Pumps,
Right.
which is more like a bar than a strip club. That's what kind of makes it fun and gives it a little bit more, I think, casual nature to it. I think when guys go to a strip club in like Atlantic City or New Orleans, there's a lot of pressure to get a lot of ones out to go to the bar, and then like you want to buy the Bachelor a lap dance, and then that's that could be anywhere from $30 to $50. Next thing you know, you've like blown through $200 in an hour. And you've had 2 Bud Lights.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the rate of return, I feel like is not as great
It's
for a strip club.
It's like such a novelty I feel like it's such a novelty to go to a strip club nowadays with a bachelor party, where it's not even like. I mean, I guess there are people who for sure there are people who like it. I was definitely with a dude who ended up staying out and came home like walletless, shirtless, and
Hopeless.
hopeless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't call him out, but but he really liked strip clubs. But I think for the most part, I think men just kind of see him as a novelty, especially when it comes to a bachelor party or a group outing.
yeah.
Another thing that I think really helps is a problem I've come across in these bigger group trips is people are on like radically different ends of the financial spectrum. I've been to bachelor parties and group trips with people that work in finance that are just down to spend so much money. And that's always a bone of contention, right?
Yeah.
This is how going on a trip with people can really exacerbate problems
Sure, yeah.
and really ruin friendships.
And it's like kind of gauche to ask about someone's budget before going on a trip, right? Like,
Yeah.
no one's gonna be like, "Hey, what's your budget for this trip?"
I'm kind of with him too, and we can touch on that more when we talk about like traveling with a partner, but like I don't like to set budgets before I travel with a group.
I don't like to set
I don't like to
budgets,
do it
but I
either.
think it's fair to be like, hey, I cannot go to this 4-star restaurant or
Right.
5-star. $4
Either.
sign restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going by
Yeah,
Yelp
let's go
rules.
by Yelp. Like $4
I'm going to
sign
the
restaurants.
bar at the Westin.
I think it
Yeah.
also is really helpful when people send restaurants ahead of time and you can look at the menu and be like, fuck no, that's crazy.
Okay.
I'm not getting caviar or champagne. Well, I'm getting champagne, but
So you're all about the group decision, which is why, like bachelor and bachelorette parties, you have a person that's clearly in charge there.
maid of honor.
Yes, and their
Yeah.
their word goes. Have you guys been on a trip ever with a group where people that knew each other turned against each other?
Yes. But it wasn't about the trip. I think like traveling with your friends and being in enclosed spaces and drinking
Yep.
all weekend, people just start to bring up like very deep-seated like feelings towards each other. And I have seen many of falling out on girls' trips over shit that had nothing to do with the trip.
Do you have? She can change names,
Okay,
ages,
so
places.
I went to Chicago with a bunch of my friends from high school, and it was like the most fun weekend. And then this girl who I'm friends with, these two girls that I'm friends with, this one girl had a boyfriend, but they were on a break, and she invited this other guy out to the bar to meet us. And then the other girl was furious that she invited a man to our girls' trip.
Yes.
And it was like this whole like blow up scene at the bar, and everyone like was crying. I was probably laughing.
Yeah, like did the guy know what he was walking into?
No,
Yeah,
not
he
at
just got
all,
like
not at all.
If he knew,
No.
like no, there's no way a guy
No,
is
he would
like
never put
I'll
it
be
on.
right there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Depends on the guy.
If it
I
was
mean,
like
if
a
he was
girl's
trying
trip,
to get that.
Yeah.
unless it was just like he's
Thank
he's just
you
out
for
front of
editing yourself.
the Chili's to go honking. He's like, come out.
No, but we all thought it was gonna blow over in the morning, and then in the morning, everyone was like, "Okay, go talk, make up." And then they both came together and would not make up. So then the whole weekend was a little awkward. But like I've seen shit like that happen all the time. But again, I think that's more of just like a personality thing than
Yeah.
Right.
And also, again, being drunk and like together for a weekend or
Well,
whatever.
alcohol makes it worse. Always.
It really does.
Yeah.
Again, that's why I'm always sober.
But then it
sister.
fixes things the next day. Then it's like you all sit around,
That's
have
true.
mimosas or
Move
Bloody
on.
Marys, and kind of rehash it.
Alex, have your friends ever gotten in a fight?
I've never gotten into a fight that caused like irreparable damage.
Yeah.
There was the wreck on the deck, which you were there for,
Oh, right.
which was
Well,
a few
we-
years ago.
That was a vacation in upstate New York where here's the thing, and not to make this personal, but Alex, you can get a little tipsy and you can become aggressive.
Well,
You're
There's
an
always-
aggressive drunk? I could never see
There's
that.
always
no,
that.
I don't think it was. We were playing. We were either playing beer pong or flip cup, and I got a little competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little like overly competitive.
Right.
At least have it be over a good reason.
No, it was over a drinking game.
It was over a drinking game.
Yeah. And our friend Joe, just kind of, he reaches, that's, you always like kind of settle into a dynamic when you travel with friends.
Right.
And Alex is usually the loud one that's trying to get everyone to drink,
I don't
which
know
is
if
great.
I don't know. I would say usually.
Okay.
It depends on the
sometimes.
trip. I wasn't like that in Paris.
No.
Are you guys going to fight? Are you guys fighting?
Yeah, this is it. But Joe, the person who fought him is like the most soft-spoken.
We didn't
nicest
fight though. We
guy.
just got into a verbal
He
confrontation.
really wanted to punch you.
He definitely. Yeah, he wanted to.
I have a story when I studied abroad, which is just like an extreme version of traveling with a group because I was with the same people, like 20 people, for like 6 months. This is a pretty touchy story, so I'm definitely gonna have to change. I won't even say where I went to school. Let's just say there are two friends, Larry and George, and they were really good friends. They went into the study abroad program as like best friends, and they were doing it together. They got really drunk one night, and they got into a fist fight, into an altercation. And this was like in the south of France, kind of in the middle of nowhere at like a castle type.
What a beautiful place to have a fist fight.
Yeah.
How romantic.
Poetic.
I say fist fight, but what actually happened, George pinned Larry down, and Larry was just really drunk and, was trying to say, calm down, man, calm down. And the one dude went up to the other guy's face and actually bit his nose off.
What?
Off? He
And
bit the nose off?
And these are people that never got in a fight before. They're both pretty mild-mannered.
Lord
but
Voldemort
the stress, yes, the stress of being together and traveling like that in a group set them both over the top.
Yeah,
and,
that's. Are they friends anymore?
I don't think so because the kid.
What happened to his nose? That's what I want to know.
Well, the guy,
You're really trying to sniff it out. Huh?
the biter was gone the next day.
Oh, they kicked him out?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, for sure. And then the guy whose nose.
Who wants to stay on a trip with a dude who's bit another dude's nose
that's
off?
the thing,
Yeah, it's
right?
like you're chilling with like Mike Tyson after a
Tyson,
Holyfield
yeah.
fight.
They put the nose. When your tooth gets knocked out and you're supposed to put it in milk and take it to the dentist.
No.
Okay, well that's a thing for
Well,
anyone
thank you.
listening.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do that.
Will's tip of the day.
They put his nose into a Ziploc bag and brought it to the hospital.
Oh my
I thought you were going to say fill it
God.
with milk.
I want to
No.
see him right now. Are you friends with him on Facebook or whatever?
I am. I think that he had surgery and it's okay. And he is married to a woman he met while he was over there studying abroad.
And
so.
she has a
Oh, what a
nose.
happy ending.
Yeah.
She has a nose.
Well, they both have noses now.
Well,
So traveling with a group, yeah. What I would say is don't go with dicks.
yeah.
Have someone that will stay remotely sober to kind of keep track of things.
It might
You
have to
don't
be
have
you.
to be sober.
It might have to
but
be him.
just
Right.
enough
In control
that,
of the situation.
Yes.
To your point too, I think that it can be good, especially before a bachelor party when you have all these people coming from different worlds, to figure out to set a line, to draw a line if you don't want to go somewhere very expensive. Because I've heard of people like they'll go to a club and they'll get bottle service, and then the next day everyone is like, "You owe me $1,000," and they can't do it.
Yeah. I'm also extremely reckless with money. Like, I'll go out and be like,
Yeah.
I'm buying a bottle. And then I don't expect anyone to pay me back for it. But then all of a sudden I have to realize other people, they do expect you to pay them back when
Sure.
they buy something nice.
Definitely.
So then I'm trying to leverage, I'm like, well, I bought the bottle. They're like, well, we didn't ask you to. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know, but it was a gift. And I assumed what you would be doing would be a gift also. Like, we're all just kind of gifting certain
Yeah.
things that kind of are hovering around the same price points here.
You're more in the barter system,
Yeah,
I
I'm
understand
much
that.
more into the barter system than I am into the actual switching hands of money,
of money.
banking.
All I'll say is
Yeah.
I'm
Complicates
very
things.
anti-bottle service.
I'm archaic.
That's definitely
I've
true.
only got it once, but it was
But it was amazing.
but it was pretty fun. It was just vodka.
I know. That's why I'm against it.
They
It's
just gave us vodka, and then they
well,
were like,
orange juice and
no, they didn't give us any chaser.
usually they give you a little thing of orange
Wait,
juice.
they didn't give you chaser?
No, they just gave
man.
us vodka, and then they were like, do you want to add a Red Bull for an extra $20?
Was this a club or you just at someone's
This
house?
was a New Orleans strip club.
Oh,
God.
no.
Yeah.
They scammed you.
Oh, yeah, I was at $300 that night.
Oh, no.
I want to talk about traveling with a significant other because that also presents its fair share of
Yes, yes,
problems.
yes.
They always say that you should travel with someone before you fully commit to them. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Why do you think that's true?
Because all your flaws are completely on display 24/7.
Yeah.
And specifically all your weird travel quirks and stuff that might annoy someone else.
That's definitely true.
I don't know about flaws being on display 24/7, at least for me because I travel really well. But
I thought you were going to say because I don't have flaws.
What does that mean that you travel well?
I just think I've gotten really good at traveling over the years. But what I will say is that traveling is really, really stressful.
Yeah.
And I think that stress doesn't bring out necessarily all of your flaws, but it can definitely bring out the worst parts of you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like how you react to situations, like
Totally.
gate agents
Yeah.
or TSA or
Exactly.
being later cab drivers. So I think that you have to be kind of on the same page and anticipate all of these things before you actually take that first flight with somebody.
Well, you go through a lot. It's like
You go through a lot,
It's
yeah.
it's like condensing a whole year of dating into a 1 week trip. Everything
Right.
is on display. The highs are high, the lows are low.
Like you're literally moving in with someone.
Yeah.
Essentially, in the kind of most weird tangential way, you're moving in with someone
Yeah.
for
Oh, definitely.
a weekend or a week or something
Yeah.
like that. And so then you're also kind of on edge about it because you're like, what are they going to think of me?
Right. Especially the first time.
Especially the first
Yeah.
time, right? Like you're like, all right, I want to be cool and chill and have control of the situation. But
Right.
then something's gonna happen, and some person's gonna freak out about something. Whether
Always.
it's always, whether it's something that they left at home and didn't pack that they really think that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you miss a flight. God forbid you miss a flight. That could literally cause
Oh, no.
that could be the end of a fun trip right there.
Oh, for
Just
sure. It's
missing a
depending on who
flight.
you're with. That's what I mean.
Depending on
though.
who you're with.
Right.
yeah.
And that's how you know. So I skimmed through a shit ton of listicles online about tips on how to travel with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Let's debate whether they're valid or not. Okay. So one that came up in almost all these articles, which I think is duh. Take a shorter trip first.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of
Yeah.
obvious.
Duh.
Because it's you would rather go on a weekend trip than a 3-week leg to Singapore
Totally.
with
Yeah.
someone you just started dating. Where do you think is the most ideal place for a first trip with significant other?
Somewhere warm but not too hot.
Yeah.
I recently went on a first trip with a significant other. Not to brag, but I do have a significant other.
She's flipping her hair right now if you're just listening. Good for
I
you.
did convince a man to like me. So we went to San Diego, and it was a great first trip. The weather was amazing. I'd never been there before. It's a really cute place to walk around. There's water if you want to do water shit. There's land if you don't like the water.
If you want to do land shit.
Land
Most
shit,
people just
water
call it
shit.
shit.
It's
around
crazy.
with your
Fine.
feet. The food was good, really good Mexican food. I thought that was a great place to go.
What do you think, Al?
So I like the outdoors a lot, and I like camping and hiking. So for me, it would be either a train ride or we rent a car and just get a place in the Catskills or the Adirondacks.
In New York, yeah.
In New York,
Yeah.
and we stay there for we'd go in the summer, stay there for 3 or 4 days. It's like the perfect time to just kind of get outside and do fun things.
Yeah.
Obviously, this person has to be into that, and that's going to be like a big qualifier.
Yeah, that
if
could
it's
really
gonna work.
that could really backfire if you're with some.
It's going to
someone with high
backfire if this
maintenance or-
person is like not or is like lying about it.
Yeah.
If they're like, oh no, I'm totally into hiking. Then
Sure.
you get to the hike and you're like, all right, this is going to be like a 3-mile hike. And they're like, oh, fuck.
No,
Yeah.
I
They're
really
by
like
mile
that because
2,
it
they're
gives you
complaining.
like an anchor to the trip of like you already know what you're doing and what you're there for. Whereas like if you just go somewhere without a plan, that could get like a little stressful. Like who's gonna decide what we're doing?
Yeah.
I think you have to
personally-
have like some semblance of a plan. You don't need to have a crazy lockdown itinerary of like, all right, from 10 to 11:30 we go to breakfast.
Right.
Here are the places that I'm thinking of. All right, from 12 to 2 we do this hike, and then we could go here to this like swimming hole. Then it's kind of like this isn't fun anymore.
Right.
This
Oh,
seems
totally.
like work.
No, we could talk about that, but camping is actually good because it's very stripped down. It seems like it should be relaxing if you're with the right people.
Yeah.
For me, I would say maybe somewhere really chill, somewhere tropical, somewhere where you don't want to go see like a million things. Even going to one of those cheesy resorts would be fun. I would say like where you don't want to go is a place like Disney World, where if going on a trip with your partner is like an encapsulation of your relationship. Disney World is like very punctuated because it's like a mini trip within a trip, and there's a million things to do.
Can't even imagine going to Disney World
It's
with
awful.
like a new partner. I wouldn't go.
I just
I
started-
wouldn't go.
Well, that would tell a lot about you.
Yeah.
Wait,
Like,
why
okay.
wouldn't you go?
I just am not a fan of theme parks at all.
Yeah.
I don't like all like the kind of manufactured fun.
Oh my god.
It's a lot of manufactured
It
fun.
is.
And Dole Whip, which is great.
You know what- you know what I will
is
go
a
on?
manufactured fun in the fact that it is manufactured, but it is fun. So I do not agree with
I'll
you.
totally fuck with a cruise.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but then you're kind of stranded with
I
that
know.
person.
What?
No, you're not though. Cruise ships are gigantic. They're enormous. If you need
You're a
space,
psycho.
no. Cruise ships are dope. You can do so much on a cruise
Have
ship.
you ever been on a cruise?
Yeah,
Yeah,
until neurovirus breaks out and everyone's shitting and barfing everywhere.
That could
Dying.
easily happen at Disney World.
Cruise ships, people die on cruises all the time. You know how you
Yeah,
can tell if
no.
someone died on a cruise ship?
I know it adds a
Oh,
little
you
bit of
told
excitement
me.
to the day.
Yeah, I said if they start serving a lot of ice cream and giving away ice cream
Oh
for free.
no!
'Cause
They
they
need
put
to
the
clear
bodies
the freezer
in the
out.
freezer.
Do they hack the body up?
That is true. They do put the bodies in the
If you're
freezer.
feeling it, you know?
God.
So what's up, ladies? I am single.
So the second thing that almost every one of these lists called out is talk about finances ahead of time. And I don't like...
I don't know.
I know that's like it's the hardest part of a relationship. It's like the touchiest part of any relationship. So bringing that out, especially during a first trip,
I think that's weird.
What do you say? Like, what's your budget?
yeah,
that's weird.
What's your budget? Like,
is weird.
can you give me like some parameters of your budget?
Right.
And then I'll just kind of guess where you're at.
Exactly. I've never really traveled with a significant other that made where there was like a really like big gap between what we were paid, like either
Same.
way.
Yeah.
If someone's making that much more than you, where they just feel like they can make decisions, they should just be able to throw you a few bucks. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Well,
Then it sounds no, because then
You're
it's like
saying
charity. No, then it's like charity.
yeah, I don't like them giving you money, but
Right.
maybe if they're like, you know what, this dinner's on me. That's
Yeah,
that's all right.
I'm not
Exactly.
saying like sliding a envelope full of cash in the morning. That's like a different type
Leaving it
of.
on the desk.
But I mean like picking up the tab.
We do
somewhere.
respect sex work, though. Just have
We
to
do respect sex
reiterate
work.
again.
This podcast a lot about sex work on this travel cast.
Well, you bring me on, and
No,
that's what we're talking about.
No, I think that if I was making a lot more than somebody and I really want to take this trip with that person,
Yeah.
spending a little extra is not going to be a thing for me at all. And
Yeah,
I'm not going to
agree.
hold them hostage for it, like
Yeah.
emotionally. It'll just be something like I'll be like, I just want to spend time with you.
I agree.
Not in the city doing like broke boy shit.
I
And
agree
then if
with
that
that.
person's cool, they're going to be cool with you doing it.
It's
you
just
know?
an awkward conversation. I think that's why all those articles mention it, because it's always weird, and when you travel, it kind of is accentuated, honestly. Another thing, take privacy into consiration. Give people their private space.
Yeah, Gab and I have talked about this
Yeah.
before.
Like, what
When
do you
we
mean?
travel together.
You guys have traveled together?
No.
It feels like it. I'm with you long enough.
What do you mean you've talked about it?
We were kind of just discussing traveling
yeah.
with partners and how space can be a really big issue, especially staying in a boutique hotel, which I've done as well. And that's like, whew, man, they're small.
Oh, yeah, they are really small.
Well,
so
they're chic and quaint.
Well, I guess that's
I don't know.
word.
That's
one word for them.
Some people might.
Well, that's the spin, you know?
Yeah, so I went on
PR?
this first trip with my new boyfriend. I'll just say it again. My boyfriend.
He goes to a different podcast.
I swear he's real.
Oh, that's funny.
He is a human man. So we went on this first trip. So excited. I was like, oh, it's going to be like a sexy, cool, romantic weekend.
Is this to San Diego?
Yeah, this
Nice.
is to San Diego, and we stayed at a boutique hotel. We walk in, and the hotel room is so tiny, like you could touch the walls, you know,
Like all the walls.
laying on the bed. Yeah. And the bathroom is right next to the bed, basically. And I'm like, all right, I can make this work. I can be a really silent shitter.
How intimate.
Yeah. Well, the door was one of those sliding barn doors, you know, that just slides over the door hole opening, and it didn't latch or connect. It just slid over the bathroom. I'm like, what monster designed this hotel room? It was horrific. So obviously I didn't shit all weekend.
That's not good for you.
Oh, I know. I had a cannonball.
Traveling causes like enough gastrointestinal
like
distress.
That. Like, no.
Christ.
Sorry, that was an overshare. I'm gonna walk that back.
No, it's fine. You can't walk it back once it's already out there, but I totally get it.
No, I was like a camel of shit. Like, it was not good. And I know he's gonna watch this. No, but then I was forced into a position where I was like, every time we would go out to dinner, I'm like, okay, just go take a quick shit in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But then you're like stressed about it even more and thinking about it. So I would still be gone for a shitting time period, but I wouldn't go because I was so stressed about it. So
it's a vicious circle.
Yeah, I still didn't go, but he was like, oh, what are you doing there? Taking a dump at that Mexican restaurant?
I will straight up poop in a girl's apartment like after a one night stand.
Alex,
and then like leave.
What is wrong with you?
It's like a human.
Have a little respect.
I'm a human. I have to go. It's like it's distressing for me to hold it in.
Well, that's you don't want to become the camel of shit.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to be the camel of shit. Like you might be okay with that. I'm not.
You're right about the boutique hotels. I was at a very nice one in Chicago, and I won't say the name because I don't want to disparage it at all because it's actually fucking awesome. But like, it wasn't super small, but the bathroom it had that like translucent kind of glass.
Ooh.
You were just telling me about that.
And it's cool, and it's like, it's very chic and it's very elegant. But when you're taking a shit, like you can just see the person sitting down.
Frosted glass.
Yeah,
you can see full silhouettes.
Yeah, you can just see it.
You can see like silhouettes down to like hairs on their head.
It's weird.
It's super distressing.
I never want to see that ever. Hunched over like a shrimp taking a dump.
And it's just really weird. And it's just like, I don't know why boutique hotels cannot figure out the bathroom situation.
Is it like a European thing?
I don't
think so.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not cultured.
You?
I didn't study abroad.
I'm so sorry. Well, at least
I went to college in
at
Florida.
least you still have your nose
I didn't
intact.
get
That's
much
true, yeah,
culture when I studied abroad.
My experience, I'll make it quick, was just like Gab's, where the bathroom was kind of parallel to the bed.
Yeah.
And as I was in there, I didn't realize, I knew that the glass was frosted, but I didn't realize that the person on the outside could see inside.
Sure.
So I'm inside. It's like after dinner, we're about to go get drinks. I'm thinking that, sex is on the table later. We're at a hotel together.
Hopefully.
It's romantic. We're getting drinks. We're dressing up.
Yeah.
So I'm in the bathroom. I'm washing myself. And then I just start,
Really getting in there.
I'm getting like in there. Like I'm like washing my groin.
Groin?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm like washing my.
It's called a crotch.
Washing
Yeah,
my.
no one said groin. Who says groin?
I'm washing my booty out. Like
Okay.
I'm trying to get it clean. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got body hair on me. I'm trying to like smell good down there.
true.
Disgusting.
No, it's not. I think it'd be so disgusting if I didn't do it.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, if you're not watching the video, Alex is a hairy guy.
I'm a hairy guy. And so I walk out of the shower and she was like, you really scrub that ass well, huh? And I was like, oh my God. I've never been so embarrassed or felt so vulnerable in my entire life.
Because she was watching you through the glass?
She could see me through the glass and I had no idea. She didn't say anything. She was like cracking up watching it.
Yeah.
And if you could imagine a grown man washing their ass out in a hotel room, I think you could like picture what it's like. It's not like a romantic looking sight. Like it's not exactly a turn on.
No.
For,
Well, good
this
thing you
Maybe
do
it's her
anything else.
kink.
Yeah.
It wasn't. definitely
Sex
wasn't.
was off the table after that.
We had a great night, but there was no sex going on after that. I think it was because of me, because I was like so.
Yeah.
I think I felt.
Oh, no.
I think I
Oh,
felt.
you felt weird.
I felt so insecure about like her watching me do this thing that I thought she
sorry.
couldn't see.
I would be embarrassed for like 10 seconds and then be like, well, I have a butthole.
I tried to get over it.
Would you
Yeah.
rather me have a dirty butthole or
That's
a
very
clean
I mean,
true.
that's
one?
exactly right. But when you're in the situation, all right, at least if you're me in this situation, I couldn't get past it.
Aw.
So not to change gears from your butthole, but another tip. This I thought was weird, but it kind of makes sense. Is don't share a suitcase.
Oh, I've never fucking done that. Who
Never.
does that?
That's a way just to fight
My
before
parents
you
do
even
that.
leave.
Yeah.
But they're married, right?
Yeah.
That's
guess.
different. That's
Still.
different.
Yeah.
Still, who the fuck shares a suitcase? That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a small pet peeve of mine is actually when you're on a trip with someone and one person checks and one person carries
That
on.
is a pet peeve
Oh
of
yeah,
mine.
it's
It is,
pet peeve of mine
honestly.
too. I missed a flight because of that
Really?
with a significant other. Yeah.
Well, really quick on planes, do you think it's okay or annoying when someone next to you or you ask if you can switch a seat so you can sit next to your significant other?
I do it all the time, so
I don't mind
as
it.
long
You
as
ask?
yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as like if I'm in an aisle seat,
Uh-huh.
as long as I'm in another aisle seat, then I don't care.
If the trade-off is equal.
If the trade-off is equal.
I totally get that, yeah.
Yep, I'm the same boat. If someone's trying to switch a middle seat with me and I'm in an aisle seat, like get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
you're,
yeah,
you're gonna
never.
have to sweeten
Yeah.
the deal. Like
You're
you're gonna have to be
trading
like,
up.
give me $100.
Yeah.
Like
Buy me a
throw
drink.
me a hundo and then I'll sit in the middle seat on this trip.
I've actually been in the reverse situation where like I've been like, I've seen a married couple where one is in front of the other and they're talking to each other and I'm like, do you want to move so you can sit next
And
to
they
your
don't
wife?
want to.
And they're like, no,
Yeah.
no, we're
That's
fine how
also
it is.
unique.
No, but
It is.
They're not getting a divorce.
I respect that. Yeah, they're not getting a divorce because
Yeah.
they know how to travel together.
Yeah.
They're like,
They know
like
their
the guy
boundaries and their
wants to like throw
limits.
on the light and read.
Sure.
The wife might want to just like watch something on Netflix and pass out.
Yes.
Like
Totally.
if you want to fly like that, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely true, which brings me to my next point. This is something that a lot of the articles said that I didn't even really think about. Schedule at least one solo activity per day.
I mean,
No, that's fucking
maybe
weird.
like working out at the gym, if that counts.
Yeah, not like going to a museum.
Yeah, I would go to the gym or like
That's like masturbate while she's
maybe-
in the shower.
Maybe go. Nice.
And she's watching, and you're watching.
Through
And
the
there's
You're at a
frosted,
boutique
there's
hotel.
frosted glass, and we're not
Is it-
sure we can
is
see
it
each
solo
other.
or mutual?
Man, I'll tell you, it's crazy.
You both are going at it.
Yeah.
Crying. I don't know.
She goes to continental breakfast. It's me time.
Well, no, I mean, it's interesting because like it's just the solo activity. You're right. Is it like going to the gym or is it like going on a guided tour of the
Yeah,
French
no,
Quarter?
I
Like,
would never do that. That's so weird.
It
Why
is
go
weird.
together? I would say the closest I would come to that is if I wake up earlier than my partner and I go out and grab a coffee or something like that. I wouldn't do like a guided tour or anything.
right.
Yeah, I'm with like the coffee thing,
Yeah.
which I've done before.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're with somebody and maybe they get up early or you get up early,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go grab some coffee. Will you be up in like 45 minutes?"
Mm-hmm.
And then normally you're kind of like, it's like a little nudge, like get up, like get the fuck up. We're on vacation.
Oh,
like,
so it's kind of passive aggressive.
That's either
It's
fuck
not
or
for
go
you.
out
Little
and
bit.
do
Yeah.
something because we're on vacation, baby.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
you don't want to spend your whole vacation just laying in a hotel room
No,
bed, you know?
yes.
And it's like,
Depends on who you are, but
if
yeah.
you're hungover, it's like, of course, it's gonna suck. It sucks getting up anywhere hungover,
Yeah.
but it's like, come on, we're here. Like, we don't need to be up at 8 a.m. to hit like this tour, but at the
Yeah.
same time, let's maybe get up at like a reasonable time and we can go out. And
Don't waste the day. That's what my
don't
mom always
waste the
said.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best travel memories I have was after my girlfriend at the time, we were in London. She fell asleep. She fell asleep like 9 or 10, like kind of early. And I rented a bike and I just like biked around London at night for like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh my god, that's so fun.
So I don't know. I think there's some truth to that. But at the same time, when you go on a trip with someone, you want to be with them.
Yeah.
You don't want to just schedule these like alternative itineraries.
Yeah.
And that brings to like the final point, which is like probably my biggest thing in these articles as well, is don't let one person do all the planning, and also don't let one person control the trip. And then also be on the same page about how much planning you're going to do, because I feel like that is the sticking point that ruins relationships and ruins trips.
I like to do like one planned thing a day.
Yes, exactly.
And then whatever else happens that day, whatever you feel like doing, you do. But
You kind of like orbit around the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
How do you guys feel about traveling with your parents as an adult?
down with it.
Yeah, same.
I took
Yeah.
a trip with my mom last year. We drove up to Saranac It was really dope, actually. Like, I love my mom, so it was a very easy trip for us to take. Like, the only thing that I think happens is I can, like, regress a little bit when she starts asking me the momish questions that one would ask, like, her 33-year-old son.
Sure.
You know, she's like, are you going to settle down and, like, meet someone soon and maybe think about raising a family?
Well, are you?
You're like, have
then-
you seen my butthole?
and,
No.
and then I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, Mom, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is easy to regress.
It's like it's easy to regress a little bit, but I'll also do it to the point of where she's just like, "Are you hungry? You want a sandwich?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I would love a sandwich."
Yeah.
Yes, Mom.
No,
And I'm
I
like,
do
I'm
the
gonna
exact
go-
same
crust
thing.
I'm
off.
gonna lay on the couch and watch Netflix. Yeah,
Yeah.
make me a turkey sandwich. I mean, I don't think that happens to the extent of like how it used to when I was maybe in college, but it definitely it's a real thing when you travel with your parents to kind of. I think you regress a little bit in those ways, only if they kind of ask you those questions that you're like either not ready to answer or just don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I put enough stress on myself trying to figure out like who I want to spend my life with and meet. Like,
Yeah, man.
oh, Mom, I don't need you giving me shit now. Like,
Yeah.
support me.
You're looking, you know? You're putting yourself out there.
I don't think, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not your fault.
Yeah, I travel with my parents at least once a year.
Yeah.
Like we go to the beach every year. We go to Hilton Head, South Carolina, and they, since I was born, have driven 12 or 13 hours there. Never fly there. When we were kids, we would drive with them, and now all the kids just fly there and meet them there, and they bring all this stuff.
That's like
That's-
skipping the worst part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also cool. It gives like your parents time to just like be with one another.
I know, it's very
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cute.
Yeah,
Like,
like it's adorable.
yeah, I think it's very cute when your parents are kind of like, you
That's
know,
like the ideal. That's the ideal travel couple right there.
Yeah.
Who want to drive 12 hours together
I
after
know, my
having.
parents are so in
I don't know, how
love.
many kids?
Yeah.
how
Can you
many kids are there?
imagine?
No, I can't.
How many siblings do you
know.
have?
Yeah.
2 siblings.
So there's 3 of you total.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your parents had 3 kids, and now they still want to drive 13 hours to hang out with all of you.
Yeah.
Should have brought
Yeah.
them on. I'm sure they had some tips.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's what we should all aspire
What?
to want in a travel partner.
I know.
Is to still want to drive with them 13 hours to see your 3 wacky kids.
Ungrateful.
Just
Ungrateful.
ungrateful
Just
brats.
I
ruthlessly
agree.
make fun of you all week.
Just mercilessly just
On a text
rip tear
chain.
you down on the group
Even
chat.
though all they want
You're
is
just
for us to
roasting
be
them with
happy.
memes. They have no idea what's happening.
They have no
They
idea.
have just no
No,
idea.
As long as they're happy, I'm happy.
Well, I think that we're pretty much all on the same page. Traveling with other people is hard. You learn a lot about them and yourself in a
Yeah.
way. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
us.
for
These
having
anecdotes
us,
were
yeah.
great.
It's very
Yeah.
fun.
2 normal people. This is how they travel.
This is
Normal, and I'm putting quotes around that, but sure.
Most definitely.